Have you ever felt caught in that relentless cycle of setting ambitious goals, starting with a burst of enthusiasm, only to find your motivation fade and your progress stall within weeks? It's a common frustration, often leading us to believe we lack discipline or willpower. But what if the problem isn't you, but your approach? This core challenge is precisely what James Clear tackles in his groundbreaking book, Atomic Habits. Clear argues that genuine, lasting change doesn't demand monumental effort or dramatic overhauls. Instead, it's forged through understanding and implementing tiny, consistent improvements, what he terms atomic habits. These small, seemingly insignificant changes, when compounded over time, can lead to remarkable and often unexpected results. This summary will break down Clear's revolutionary framework, offering simple, actionable steps to build good habits effortlessly and break free from bad ones. Get ready to discover a system that helps you transform your life, not through sheer willpower, but through smarter, more sustainable strategies you can start applying today. Theme 1. The author's core thesis: Beyond Goals, Towards Systems and Identity. James Clear's Atomic Habits fundamentally redefines our understanding of self-improvement, moving beyond the conventional focus on monumental goals and fleeting motivation. At the heart of his thesis lies a deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful concept: the compounding power of small improvements. Clear posits that habits are, in essence, the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money invested in a bank account grows exponentially over time, tiny daily actions, when consistently repeated, accumulate into massive, life-altering results. A mere 1% improvement each day, seemingly insignificant in isolation, leads to a staggering 37 times improvement over the course of a year. Conversely, a 1% decline daily results in near total regression. This mathematical elegance underscores the book's central message: it's not the intensity of a single effort, but the consistency of incremental gains that truly drives transformation. This insight naturally leads to Clear's second critical pillar: the paramount importance of systems over goals. In a world obsessed with setting ambitious targets, losing 20 pounds, writing a book, starting a business, Clear argues that such goals, while inspiring, are insufficient and often misleading. He dissects the inherent flaws in a goal-centric mindset. First, winners and losers often share the same goals. Simply having a goal doesn't guarantee success. Second, achieving a goal is merely a momentary change, not a lasting transformation. Once the goal is met, without an underlying system, there's often a regression to old patterns. The marathon runner who stops training after the race, or the eater who regains weight after hitting their target, exemplifies this pitfall. Third, a goal-oriented approach can delay happiness, tying our well-being to a future outcome rather than finding satisfaction in the ongoing process. Clear powerfully contends that true, enduring progress stems from building robust systems, the repeatable processes and routines that lead to desired outcomes. While goals provide direction, systems provide the path. If you want to be a successful writer, the goal is to publish a book. The system is the daily routine of writing, editing, and submitting. If you want to get fit, the goal is to run a marathon. The system is the weekly training schedule and healthy eating habits. By focusing on the refinement of these daily processes, the desired outcomes naturally emerge as a byproduct. This shift in perspective liberates individuals from the constant pressure of chasing outcomes and instead empowers them to fall in love with the daily grind, recognizing that consistent action within an effective system inevitably leads to growth. Building upon the foundation of systems, Clear introduces perhaps the most profound and transformative element of his core thesis: identity-based habits. This concept moves beyond merely changing what you do, to fundamentally shifting who you believe you are. Most approaches to habit change focus on outcome-based habits. I want to lose weight. Outcome. Or I want to run a marathon. Outcome. While these can initiate action, they lack the deeper, intrinsic motivation that sustains long-term change. Clear proposes a three-layered model of behavior change. The outermost layer is outcomes, what you get, the middle layer is processes, what you do, and the innermost layer is identity, what you believe. True behavior change, he argues, begins at the deepest level, by focusing on who you wish to become. Instead of merely saying, "I want to write a book," an identity-based approach would ask, "What kind of person writes a book?" An author. Then, the focus shifts to acting like an author. An author writes every day. An author reads widely. An author seeks feedback. When your actions align with your desired identity, habits become less about external obligation and more about internal congruence. You don't try to run a marathon, you become a runner, and running is simply what runners do. This internal shift makes behavior change far more sustainable because it taps into a fundamental human need for consistency between our beliefs about ourselves and our actions. Every time you perform a habit, you are, in effect, casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. One push-up is a vote for "I am a fit person." Reading one page is a vote for "I am a reader." Over time, these votes accumulate, reinforcing your new identity, making the associated habits feel natural and even inevitable. The interplay between identity and habits forms a powerful feedback loop. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. If you consistently show up to the gym, you begin to see yourself as someone who exercises. Once you identify as an exerciser, skipping the gym feels inconsistent with your self-image, thus making it easier to maintain the habit. This reciprocal relationship is the engine of lasting transformation. Clear emphasizes that the goal is not to read a book, but to become a reader, not to run a marathon, but to become a runner. When the pride associated with an identity becomes integrated into your self-concept, you no longer need external motivation. The behavior becomes self-reinforcing. In essence, James Clear's core thesis in Atomic Habits transcends superficial behavior modification. It calls for a profound reevaluation of how we approach personal growth. By valuing the compounding effect of tiny actions, prioritizing the creation of robust systems over the mere pursuit of goals, and, most crucially, aligning our daily habits with the identity of the person we aspire to be, we unlock a powerful and sustainable pathway to remarkable, enduring change. It's a philosophy that empowers individuals to sculpt their desired future, one atomic habit at a time. Theme 2: The 4 Laws of Behavior Change, Engineering Your Habits. Having established the profound impact of tiny improvements, the supremacy of systems, and the transformative power of identity, James Clear provides the practical blueprint for implementing these concepts, his 4 laws of behavior change. These laws act as a comprehensive framework, distilling complex psychological and neurological principles into actionable strategies for both cultivating good habits and dismantling bad ones. They are the tactical guidelines that empower individuals to design environments and processes conducive to desired behaviors, turning abstract intentions into tangible, consistent actions. By understanding and applying these interconnected laws, one can effectively engineer their daily routines for optimal personal growth and achievement. Law 1: Make it obvious. The first law of behavior change, make it obvious, addresses the critical role of environmental cues in shaping our habits. Clear emphasizes that habits are often initiated by visual, auditory, or contextual triggers in our surroundings. Our brains are constantly scanning the environment for cues that predict a reward, and once identified, these cues can automatically trigger a learned behavior. Consequently, if we want to build a good habit, the most fundamental step is to make its cue unmistakable and readily visible. Conversely, to break a bad habit, we must make its cues invisible or remove them from our immediate environment. The power of this law lies in recognizing that our environment is not a passive backdrop but an active designer of our choices. Consider the simple act of trying to eat healthier. If your kitchen counter is perpetually adorned with a bowl of fresh fruit, the visual cue for healthy snacking is constantly present and inviting. Conversely, if a bag of chips is the first thing you see when you open the pantry, the cue for unhealthy eating is equally obvious. Clear illustrates this with numerous examples, from placing a book on your pillow to encourage reading before bed, to preparing workout clothes the night before to reduce friction in the morning. These seemingly minor adjustments in our physical space significantly increase the likelihood of desired actions by making the trigger for the habit undeniable. A powerful practical application of this law is habit stacking. This strategy involves linking a new habit you want to build with an existing habit you already perform daily. The existing habit serves as an immediate, obvious cue for the new habit. The formula is simple. After I current habit, I will new habit. For instance, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Or, after I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my running clothes. By piggybacking new behaviors onto established routines, you eliminate the need for conscious decision-making, allowing the flow of your existing schedule to carry the new habit along. This makes the cue for the new behavior so ingrained and predictable that it becomes nearly impossible to miss, significantly increasing the chances of consistent execution. Law 2. Make it attractive. The second law, make it attractive, delves into the motivational aspect of habit formation, tapping into our brain's reward-seeking circuitry. Humans are fundamentally driven by the anticipation of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. When we associate a habit with a positive feeling or a desired outcome, we are far more likely to engage in it. Clear explains that our brains release dopamine not just when we experience pleasure, but primarily in anticipation of it. This means that if we can make a good habit seem more appealing, or a bad habit less so, we significantly influence our inclination to perform them. The challenge often lies in the fact that many beneficial habits, like exercising or studying, offer delayed gratification. In contrast, many detrimental habits, like scrolling social media or eating junk food, provide instant, albeit fleeting, rewards. To make good habits more attractive, Clear proposes several strategies. One effective method is temptation bundling, which involves pairing an action you need to do with an action you want to do. The idea is to make the necessary but unappealing habit more desirable by coupling it with an immediate reward. For example, if you love listening to a particular podcast but dislike exercising, you could make a rule. I will only listen to this podcast while I am on the treadmill. Or if you want to make calls to prospective clients but prefer to relax, you might decide, after I make 3 sales calls, I will spend 15 minutes browse my favorite online store. This strategy leverages the inherent allure of your desired activity to pull you through the less appealing one, making the entire sequence more attractive. Another powerful technique involves joining a culture where your desired behavior is the norm. Our habits are heavily influenced by the people around us. We tend to imitate the habits of 3 main groups: the close, the many, and the powerful. If you surround yourself with individuals who regularly engage in the habits you wish to adopt, whether it's reading, exercising, or learning new skills, those behaviors become normalized, attractive, and even expected within your social circle. The social validation and inherent human desire to fit in make it significantly easier to cultivate good habits. By making the process itself more appealing or by embedding it within an attractive social context, the second law ensures that the desire to perform the habit is strong enough to overcome inertia and sustain action. C. Law 3. Make it easy. The third law, make it easy, highlights the critical role of friction in habit formation. Clear argues that the easier a habit is to perform, the more likely we are to do it. Conversely, increasing the friction for bad habits makes them less likely to occur. Human beings are inherently wired for efficiency and minimal effort. Given 2 options, we will almost always gravitate towards the one that requires less energy and fewer steps. Therefore, the goal isn't to rely on willpower or motivation, which are finite resources, but to design environments and processes where the desired behavior is the path of least resistance. Clear emphasizes that the true genius of successful habit formation lies in making the start of the habit as effortless as possible. This law encourages us to prime the environment by preparing for future actions. If you want to eat healthier, pre-chop your vegetables for the week, making healthy meals quick to prepare. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your gym clothes, fill your water bottle, and pack your bag the night before. Each of these preparatory steps reduces the number of decisions and actions required when the moment to perform the habit arrives, effectively lowering the barrier to entry. The idea is to eliminate as many points of friction as possible, making the desired behavior almost unavoidable simply because it's the easiest option available. Perhaps the most potent application of "make it easy" is the 2-minute rule. This simple yet powerful strategy dictates that when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The purpose of this rule is not to achieve the full desired outcome, but simply to show up. If your goal is to read a book, the 2-minute rule translates to read 1 page. If your goal is to exercise, it becomes put on my workout clothes. The key insight here is that momentum is crucial. Once you've started an activity, even a tiny portion of it, it's often easier to continue than it was to start in the first place. This rule helps overcome the initial inertia, ensuring that you consistently take that first step, which then paves the way for longer, more meaningful engagement. By focusing on making the initiation of the habit incredibly easy, the third law ensures that consistency, the bedrock of all lasting change, becomes the default. Law 4. Make it satisfying. The fourth and final law, make it satisfying, addresses the reinforcement mechanism that ensures a habit is repeated. Clear explains that what gets rewarded gets repeated, and what gets punished gets avoided. Our brains are wired to prioritize actions that provide immediate gratification. The challenge with many good habits is that their rewards are often delayed. For instance, the benefits of exercising consistently, better health, fitness, take weeks or months to manifest, while the immediate sensation might be discomfort. Conversely, bad habits often provide instant pleasure, e.g., the sugary taste of junk food, the immediate distraction of social media, even if their long-term consequences are negative. To make a habit stick, we must find ways to make its immediate experience satisfying. The core principle here is to add immediate pleasure to long-term habits. While the ultimate reward of a good habit might be distant, we can engineer small, instant rewards to reinforce the behavior in the present. This doesn't mean eating a donut after a workout. It means finding something genuinely enjoyable that can be associated with the habit's completion. One of the most effective strategies for this is the use of visual trackers. Marking off each day you successfully perform a habit on a calendar or in an app provides immediate visual evidence of your progress. Seeing the growing chain of checkmarks or XS creates a powerful sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that serves as an immediate reward, reinforcing the desire to not break the chain. For bad habits, the inverse applies, make them immediately unsatisfying. Clear suggests employing accountability partners or habit contracts. If you commit to an accountability partner that you will pay them if you miss a workout, the immediate punishment, losing money, makes skipping the gym immediately unsatisfying, even if the long-term health consequences are far off. This leverages social pressure and immediate consequences to deter unwanted behaviors. By ensuring that good habits come with an immediate, tangible form of satisfaction, and bad habits with an immediate, palpable cost, the fourth law taps into our brain's fundamental wiring to ensure that we are compelled to repeat beneficial actions and avoid detrimental ones, thereby cementing them into our daily routines. Theme 3. Advanced tactics and avoiding pitfalls, sustaining momentum, and navigating challenges. Beyond the foundational 4 laws of behavior change, James Clear delves into more nuanced strategies and common pitfalls that can either accelerate or derail the habit-building journey. Understanding these advanced tactics and anticipating potential setbacks is crucial for long-term consistency and true mastery of habit formation. It's not enough to simply start. The real challenge lies in maintaining momentum and adapting when inevitably faced with difficulties. One critical concept for sustaining motivation is the Goldilocks rule. This principle suggests that human motivation peaks when we are working on tasks that are just right, in terms of difficulty, not too hard to be overwhelming, and not too easy to be boring. When a task is too challenging, frustration sets in, leading to discouragement and abandonment. Conversely, if a task is too simple, it quickly becomes monotonous, leading to apathy and a loss of interest. The optimal zone for performance and motivation is at the edge of your current abilities, where you experience a manageable challenge that allows for consistent progress without inducing excessive stress. For habit formation, this means gradually increasing the difficulty or scope of your habits as you improve, ensuring that you remain engaged and feel a sense of accomplishment. For instance, if you're building a running habit, don't immediately aim for a 10K if you've never run before. Start with a brisk walk, then a short jog, gradually extending distance or speed as your fitness improves, keeping the challenge stimulating but achievable. This delicate balance of challenge and success fosters continuous engagement and prevents the feeling of stagnation or overwhelm. Another significant pitfall Clear addresses is the trap of perfection and the inevitability of missed days. In the pursuit of building new habits, there's a strong tendency to strive for flawless execution. However, life is unpredictable, and adherence to a habit will occasionally falter. A single missed day can often trigger a cascade of negative self-talk, leading to feelings of failure and the complete abandonment of the habit. Clear offers a powerful antidote to this. Never miss twice. This simple yet profound rule acknowledges human imperfection while providing a clear guideline for recovery. The first missed workout, the first skipped meditation, or the first day without writing a page doesn't signal the end of your progress. It's the subsequent, consecutive missed days that truly erode the habit and reinforce the old, undesired identity. By committing to never missing 2 days in a row, you establish a quick recovery mechanism. You accept the occasional slip-up as part of the process, but you immediately prioritize getting back on track, minimizing the damage and reaffirming your commitment to the new identity you are trying to build. This strategy shifts the focus from an unattainable perfection to resilient consistency, making the habit-building journey far more forgiving and sustainable. Finally, Clear stresses the importance of regular reflection and review. Habits, while powerful, are not static. They need to evolve with you. What works today might not be optimal a month from now. Periodically, it's essential to take a step back and objectively assess your habits and systems. Are they still serving your desired identity? Are they truly contributing to your long-term goals? This isn't about self-criticism, but about strategic self-awareness. Clear suggests frameworks like the annual review, or integrity report, to evaluate whether your daily actions are truly aligned with your values and aspirations. This reflection allows you to identify habits that are no longer productive, spot emerging challenges, and fine-tune your systems for greater efficiency and effectiveness. It provides an opportunity to prune unproductive routines and consciously design new ones that better serve your evolving self. Without this periodic review, even the best-intentioned habits can become stale or misaligned with your broader life vision, making consistent adaptation a cornerstone of lasting personal growth. Theme 4. The benefits: embracing a life of continuous improvement. Having explored James Clear's revolutionary framework, from the compounding power of tiny habits and the supremacy of systems to the transformative influence of identity-based change and the nuances of sustaining momentum, it becomes clear that Atomic Habits offers far more than just a guide to behavior modification. It provides a profound pathway to reclaiming control over your life, achieving long-term goals with unexpected ease, and ultimately, becoming the person you aspire to be. The cumulative benefit of internalizing and applying these principles is nothing short of a paradigm shift in how we approach personal growth and productivity. The most immediate and tangible benefit is the liberation from the cycle of unfulfilled intentions. No longer are you reliant on fleeting motivation or the Sisyphean task of fighting against your own willpower. Instead, you learn to engineer your environment and design systems that make good habits the default and bad habits the exception. This reduces the mental effort required to make desired choices, making consistency less about brute force and more about strategic design. Imagine a life where healthy eating is simpler because your kitchen is optimized for it, or where exercise is almost automatic because your morning routine guides you seamlessly to your workout gear. This systematic approach fosters a sense of effortless progress, transforming what once felt like a struggle into a natural flow. Furthermore, applying the 4 laws of behavior change leads to a remarkable increase in your effectiveness in achieving significant goals. While the book advocates for focusing on systems rather than just goals, the irony is that a robust system inevitably leads to the achievement of those very goals, and often beyond what was initially envisioned. By consistently making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, you create a powerful flywheel of progress. Each small, consistent action builds upon the last, leading to incremental gains that compound over time, making ambitious objectives like writing a book, mastering a new skill, or improving your financial health not just attainable, but a natural byproduct of your well-designed daily routines. This shift from desiring an outcome to diligently maintaining a process is where true and sustainable success is forged. Perhaps the deepest and most enduring benefit lies in the cultivation of a stronger, more aligned personal identity. Atomic Habits teaches us that every action we take is a vote for the person we are becoming. By consciously choosing to perform tiny, positive habits, you begin to rewrite your internal narrative. You stop trying to be a healthy person and start being a healthy person, because you consistently show up for your workouts and prepare nutritious meals. You cease wishing to be a creative person and start being a creative person, because you dedicate time each day to your craft. This iterative process of action shaping identity, and identity reinforcing action, builds a powerful feedback loop that solidifies your desired self. The pride and congruence derived from living in alignment with your values and aspirations become their own powerful motivators, making adherence to good habits feel less like an obligation and more like an authentic expression of who you are. This fundamental shift in self-perception is arguably the most transformative takeaway, leading to greater self-confidence, purpose, and overall well-being. In essence, by implementing the insights from Atomic Habits, you gain the tools to stop merely reacting to life and start proactively shaping it. You learn to leverage the power of small changes, optimize your environment, and align your actions with your deepest identity, ultimately leading to a life characterized by continuous improvement, effortless productivity, and profound personal growth. It's a blueprint for anyone seeking to break free from old patterns and build a future defined by intentional, consistent action. This summary has only scratched the surface of the profound wisdom contained within Atomic Habits. To truly internalize these powerful principles and unlock your full potential for lasting change, we wholeheartedly recommend you delve into the full book by James Clear. We'd love to hear from you. After listening to this summary, what's one atomic habit you're inspired to build or break in your own life this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this summary valuable, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more insights into transformative books, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thank you for listening, and remember, small changes, remarkable results.